Sorry, some technical issues, some glitch. We are back. Yes. I'm just waiting for Kadisran sir.
Uh, Good
Hi,
evening.
sir. Good evening,
Good
sir. How
evening.
are you?
All good, all good. This technical glitches and the first time users, we usually have all these hiccups. I was hearing you talk about me joining the session and people not to go. Fortunately, I'm in. I could listen to all your kind of comments. You were engaging. In fact, you were acting as a pillar. Great, great, Dr. Sanjeev.
No. But it can only happen for someone whom you really, really like. And you are a special person, sir. You are a special person.
Oh, thank you. You made it. You made it. Yes.
I'm so honored and I'm so glad that, just a small message and a small talk, we can connect. And that is exactly, what is our main motto is that people should understand what you are doing, what the things. See, because education is a huge sector. It's a huge sector. And
Very true. Very true.
and there are so many factors in education which are there. So and whatever you're doing is a wonderful job, sir. So
Uh,
right. So
Very
I
truly,
would.
very truly. In fact, everybody who is into this education sector, say it from K to 12 or the grads or the PG, everybody is involved in such a challenging task that during the pandemic, for say, they have been doing an excellent job. And nobody taught them how to handle it. Was all of a sudden it was a challenging task and they got into the shoes. That's the
Chalo, sir. Without wasting any time, in fact,
yes.
sir, I would love to hear your
Apologies
journey.
for apologies all the participants for the delay, a few minutes of delay in the program. Right away we start with Dr. Sanjeev now. Yes.
Sir, I was just going through your profile and it's such an impressive profile. Um, but I want you from your mouth, your journey, a very brief journey, till now.
Oh, great. That's wonderful. Talking about oneself is a kind of privilege, but let me keep it very apt and very precise. Uh, I was fortunate to be a student of Kendra Vidyalaya, a proud Kendra Vidyalaya student, and then went on to do my graduation from the um, Regional Institute of Education, Mysore, one of the colleges which are being run by the NCRT, and it's exclusively for for bringing up the teachers in the central schools, to be very specific. And then I went on to do my PG. Very specially, when if I'm going to talk about myself, I did not switch over to many schools. It's hardly uh, 4 to 5 schools is what I worked in a span of 24 years, and
Oh,
most of my school experience, though I started with working in a matriculation school in Tamil Nadu. Later, I shifted to Andhra Pradesh and I was working for a ICSE Scout board school. I joined as a teacher, grew up to associate principal, grew up then to vice principal and the principal in the same school in a span of say
mhm.
10 to 15 years. And then I switched on. I moved on to Saudi Arabia for a CBSE school and then came back. When I came back again, the old school invited me, and now in the position of director programs. So you get to people generally keep moving out from one school to other for their own reasons, but I thoroughly enjoyed, and more so, I had a connect with the parents and the children. That is that I feel is something worthy enough in the field of education, not just in a transaction of knowledge. Whatever is found in text, it's not transacting that, but you need to have a connect, a personal connect with the children, with the parents, with all the stakeholders to get the learning going on. So that's
Right.
a brief projection of mine.
Great, great. बाकी तो सर मैं पता कर लूंगा. Okay.
Oh, that's an investigatory project. Great. Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. Sir, do you watch movies?
Yes, I do. I do more than watching movies. I do get very less time to kind of get into my hobbies or something like that. I read a lot.
Ah,
I also listen to music, but very few of new movies. That's my
nothing much. So, are you a immense reader since your school days, or it just happened
uh,
developed right now?
not really, not from the school days. It's so happened uh, when I stepped into the so-called principalship, where you don't get anything else to, and you are all the more into children, the teachers' issues, the parents, all those things. So somewhere you need to get out of all those boundaries. So listen to music or read something. Reading, I generally get into some inspirational stories, some biographies and autobiography, not really into any adventurous kind of, more than reading an adventurous book. I feel we get out on an adventurous trip that could make us better living.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I'll take you to your bachpan. I'll take you to your childhood days. Huh? Now, Kadisiran sir, as a
Yes,
child, as
yes.
a child, was he naughty? Was he destructive? Was he studious? Was he what was he?
Oh my goodness, he was very. You call him as a very timid child. He was not very talkative. He was having a handful of friends. He was very obedient to
Ah,
be. You can ask all my teachers who are right away. But, in your investigatory project, I'd give you the contacts of my teachers. You can always get them. They would surely tell, for sure they would tell that, oh, this Mr. Conservation, I didn't know where he was sitting. He was a very uh, later, when I got into the profession, I got the meaning out of why I had to be that way, or did I really act doing so? All those things, I'm talking about my 80s, 90s.
ah. Time flies, huh? Time flies.
True,
Time.
true, true, true.
I'll take especially this example of these 11 months. What has gone by,
Yeah.
especially these 10 months. Especially after March, probably from March onwards. Now it has actually changed everything in every human being. Probably that's what I feel. You
Very
know,
true.
to go it with the technology, go it with studies, go it with schooling structure, go it with parenting structures, go it with career orientations, go it with I mean, you call it any section, any sector, you will find a tremendous change. Now, just these 10 months and last 30 years, 40 years, 50, 45 years, whatever, what is the basic thing you feel, sir, as that this has changed?
Um, Forget about this 10 months of COVID or whatever it is. Generally, the trend so happens that every 10 years there is a change in the generation, which
Right.
means the acceptance, the attitude of the children. I'm speaking very specific to the field, in the field of education. So every 10 years there is a change in the attitude of the children, the acceptance level of the children along with the parents. Okay. Now, when I used to study, I'm having a comparative scale here, not generalizing. When I used to be a student at school, and just say for in the holiday, for a short 1 or 2 hours break, also you would find all the children in the ground.
Right. Right.
We would be anticipating when is the holiday going to be given, when is the weekend, when is the summer vacation, and the ground would be filled. Either you go onto the ground playing whatever kind of, you don't need to have a bat and a ball. You cut down the sticks from the tree, get to play hockey, get to play cricket, whatever kind of, and then gradually when you see the number of children into the ground slowly kept reducing, and then now it is completely new. You call them, they don't. They are becoming more sensitive. They are becoming more prone to these gadgets. Okay, that is how the general attitude, the general way of bringing up the children has gone up. Now, adding to this, the pandemic, schools are closed, so no learning, no actual learning in the classrooms or in the schools. So, what next? It's all the online. And now I have to get a small briefing of my school. My school where I am working now. When I say my school, I do own up, not as a proprietor, but running the school for the benefit of the children. It is completely for the underprivileged, economically backward children who,
Very nice.
some of them don't even have a permanent house. They don't have a proper roof over their head. And when they don't have a proper roof over their head, they don't even own an Android phone or a smartphone or a laptop or a whatsoever. And adding to this, they are from a remote rural setup
Rural
where
area.
you don't have, even if you have the richest of the laptop and the costliest Android phone, you don't have the network area. So you cannot get set up a network with a mobile operator, all those things. So you, with all these restrictions, how do we go? Is what the challenge was.
Correct.
When all the other kind of A-tier cities were into their academic sessions, we had a hiccup in getting the number of students with a mobile phone, and what would be done for the others. So all these manipulations, all these accounts, everything taken. Then we started slowly with some WhatsApp, because that was the only available source, and these parents were not able to afford recharging their mobile quite often. So we had to keep it very, very. Their basic way of living is through fishing and then agriculture. So it's really heartening, or it's a different part to listen to. If I'm going to say the same from a city like Bangalore or Delhi or Mumbai, it'd be very strange. But we also have such locations in India where you don't have proper network and proper facilities. So given this, we use the WhatsApp platform to send our classes, the links, all those things, and then. But what was interesting for me is the children who did not have a smartphone or an Android phone also shared along with their friends in a common place. Maybe you having all those the standards of social distancing or norms for the COVID-19, all those things. They gathered around a place in say a temple or somebody's house, and they were more eager. Probably it was something very innovative for them. For the first time, they are learning through a gadget.
Wow.
Okay, and this is what kind of excited all of us. For the
Hmm.
teachers who work for these kind of children, probably if let alone I would record my video, my classes, and then I would post. But the challenging task is the video which I'm going to record is going to occupy a lot of space, the
Space, yeah.
storage space, and then uploading them there for the children to download. All these would become an issue. Now this slowly kind of inspired children, and the parents almost were forced to buy Androids. And now from 50%, 95% of the parents have gotten Android.
Wow.
What started as 50% with an Android now, and because it is 95 from on WhatsApp, we have gone into Zoom platform having live sessions. And interestingly, the children are more excited, and they are responding during their classes. That is something which is very happy and then contenting for us as teachers. Even a real-time classroom would not be. Sometimes I feel real-time classroom also would not be fetching that kind of contention, that kind of satisfaction for all
Very
of
true.
us. The
Very true.
teachers, absolutely, the credit goes to all the teachers who never knew how to handle a gadget. Even they never knew what is a Zoom even before the pandemic, and mobile. Uh, with a small mobile device, they started using everything, and that's the reason. Hats off to all the teaching community around the globe who took this challenging task and then went around something
Undoubtedly.
very great.
Undoubtedly, sir. Undoubtedly. It's all hats off to them, their strength, their patience, and of course, even there, because every one of us have learned certain things in this pandemic, time. And
Yes,
I'm really surprised that, you started taking classes from WhatsApp, and I mean, where you can't even join more than 7 to 8 people probably at a time, and
yes.
then from 35% to 95%, it's a commendable job. It's a commendable job. I really salute to
Oh,
you, your teachers, and of course the way you got into it. It's really an inspiration to everyone.
yeah, yeah, credit to the team, and we also get inspired by the response, the kind of response we receive from the children. That's
Right.
something great.
Absolutely.
And the parent also cooperating with us. Probably, I don't know. At home, the children could have been pestering them to get an Android or something like that. But the interest of their participation in the class is something which is commendable.
Wow, wow. So approximately in one class, there are how many students in your school?
We would be having two sections in a class, and it would be approximately 45 to 50, in between 45 to 50.
Oh, so there would have been great backlog for all the children, for say, for example, you're teaching for 5, 6 students in the first go, and then probably six
Yes.
students again, 7 students again, 6 students again. So it might be taking, for one subject or one topic, it might be taking the whole day.
Exactly. See, and we also had the WhatsApp links, so the children can refer to later. So
Uh-huh.
these are all some kind of initial experimentation what we had, because we were in the given scenario with the limitations whatever we had to go through. So we had to experiment and nothing more than that. If we are going to completely rely only on the online classes, online WhatsApp live classes or something like that, in case there is a power failure, the classes are abruptly out. We have that limitations, and given limitations, whatever way the children would be benefited is the first thing what we thought, and then we went. But whatever said and done, a real-time classroom is a real-time classroom where we would thoroughly enjoy different techniques of teaching, but still with all these constraints coming, getting along with the children and then getting connected. If the children aren't interested, the first day they would be there, the second day they would miss.
Correct.
So you need to sustain that interest. You need to keep the interest of the children when you take a class. It should be a real fun, real kind of. There should be a reason in the learning, and that's how learning has gone so far in the pandemic, anywhere across. And that's a way something very interesting, which we seriously nobody. I certainly I'm not aware of Zoom before March. I never know WhatsApp videos can be used for these classes.
Let me be very frank. 80% of the teachers all across the community never knew about Zoom before March.
Yes.
So we're not talking about rural areas. We're also talking about urban areas. No one would have thought. No one would have thought. And in fact, there is a research that 85% they never knew about Zoom, and 90% they were never technical. The teachers were not technical.
Very true.
Except for those teachers who were teaching computers, probably designing, or probably related to computers. 92, 95%, 93% teachers were not at all technical. They were not at all technical savvy.
Very true. Very true. Now, there are A-grade schools where they use the smart boards and things like that. Probably, yes, they are they are accustomed to that system, but if they are brought into this average system of a teacher and a student one-on-one session, they would not be able to adjust.
True.
So
very true.
It should be a mix. What I feel, it should be a mix of both a teacher with technology, all embedded together for the benefit of the child's learning. That's what I think should be true learning experience for a child.
Wow. And what was
if I'm going to ask Dr. Sanjeev, how could you relate your schooling and the current scenario when you hear about schools and the children?
Oh, sir, I am actually associated and connected to a lot of schools all across the globe. Okay, I give a lot of trainings. I mean, post-pandemic, of course, I used to travel a lot, going to schools all across the world and giving them teachers training, giving them parental trainings, career issues, career counselings, parenting counselings, behavioral issues. So I'm into a lot of those. Since I'm a child psychologist by profession as well. Yeah. So a lot of issues like these. I'm in connection with almost all across the world with all good schools, good principal. And I'm so lucky and I'm so honored, that people like you, principal like you, are there always. So yes. it is a blessing. It is a blessing that all across I've been getting all good, wonderful, wonderful principal, wonderful management. And they were also very nice to call me up. But problem is now, since even I was not very aware of Zoom when we started post March, we really had a tough time. I mean, almost 1 to 2 months there were no activities. We were just learning about technical things. We were installing Zooms, we were installing Google Meets, we were installing Telegrams, we were installing, and of course there was a huge, tough and challenging fight between us and the technology, because we have to show PowerPoint presentations, we have to make them understand, and I'm a lot of into personal counseling. So all these personal counselings, I mean, see, thanks to all the social media, because we would have never thought that I would be talking to you in this social media.
Very true.
Otherwise, I would be only flying to Andhra Pradesh and coming towards your school and seeing the beautiful building or probably the beautiful area and talking to you personally one-on-one. But this pandemic has not only taught us a lot of things, but they have also reduced the space and they reduced the, I would say, the kilometers between two people.
Exactly. The exposure and the thoughts and the ideas shared during all these kind of sessions, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money, time, and things to get such sessions. We need to attend some conferences, some kind of meetings too. But now this is becoming viral
Yeah,
across,
absolutely. And true, very
yes,
true.
exactly. We get to know new ideas, whatever we never thought of, we get to know about, and so that's very interesting part.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, because let me be very frank, when you told me that you were taking classes initially from WhatsApp, I was surprised and shocked. Because again, I mean, that's the reason I asked you how many students are there in your class. And when you said
Yeah.
45 to 50 students and you're taking a WhatsApp class, my God, it is, I mean, I could just imagine closing my eyes that, one teacher teaching a small subject or a probably small topic would be taking the whole day for the only one class. So, I mean, that is amazing. But what was the motivating force after that? Because I'm sure there could have been some teachers who would have attitude problem. There would have been some teachers who would really be supportive. So, how did you actually make them do this?
Uh, Very true. See, because everybody is not the same. They, they have their own space around, their comfort space around. Some of them stick onto the board, keep talking to the board, and that way they feel their teaching is above a particular level. Now, initially, there were hiccups. Very truly, very honestly accepting there were hiccups. There were kind of obstructions from the teachers because the obvious reasons that we never knew how to handle all this technology and the online platforms. But slowly and steadily, we kept encouraging them. We had them in groups. We even had some informal chats. We even had some gatherings, some kind of to make them comfortable, and that brought in that kind of excitement for the teachers. And from then on, because they were happy and then satisfied with the kind of platform they were, it went on to. Otherwise, still, if it is not a team together, everything would be scattered. So that way, the teachers, yes, everywhere around, I could hear uh, these kind of obstructions, these kind of attitude issues from the teachers. But initially, with that little of hindrance, we could work on the way forward, and then we did it. But most satisfying, is the children. We never had any kind of discipline issues with the children, wherein I keep hearing from other schools and other teachers about the parental interference, the parental interventions in between, and then the children making noise, all these things. Absolutely, here we did not have. And that was another driving force for us to keep working more and more.
True.
I still hear from other principals and teachers where the child would be on the online with a video off and then speaking something to somebody else, which is a kind of interference for the teacher to go ahead. So all these things we never had, and
Uh,
so that way we were lucky. In fact.
wow, wow, wow. Okay, sir. I'm taking you off from your principal post at present, Abhi.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you,
and
thank you.
and
I feel comfortable more. Yes.
and I'm bringing you on a very common platform that how do you pass your time? What are your hobbies at this stage? How about your family? So can we just
Oh,
let's hear
great.
from you.
Oh, there are lot of things to be discussed if I'm going to talk straight from my family down to all these things. Probably, I have a very small family. My wife works as a principal too in a school, okay,
Oh,
in
wow.
Andhra Pradesh, and I have a very little daughter who's just about 3.5 years
So
old. and
So sweet.
managing 3.5 years is the toughest task. You know,
I'll
the
help you,
higher
sir.
you
I'll
go,
help you. I'll help you. Don't worry, sir.
the higher you go, the easier it is. And the kindergarten, the KG teachers, the kindergarten teachers are the ones who struggle really with the children, but they keep themselves happy, though they struggle. Most of
Hmm.
my kind of administrative policies or administrative kind of issues we keep discussing, me and my wife, because she is also a principal. We discuss. I don't normally we don't get into so serious troubles, except for somewhere here or there, but it also helps me, gives me strength as a principal. Now, leaving that aside, more so, I've told you already about hobbies. It's only about reading books, listening to music, sometimes singing a song.
So
Close the door. Close the
let's
door.
hear from you. Small two
Oh my
lines.
God. Okay, we will. uh, singing song, then listening to music, then mostly getting into social media, where we have this trending of whatever is happening around. Though now I think we are sitting across from 6 o'clock. I'm also anxious about the education minister's news on the date, board examination date, and
Right, right.
when I'm on my mobile, I'm also equally having those breaking news across. So that is anxious, the minute I keep my end, the next thing is going to be our dates of the examination, when it is, and those are all anxious moments. So I just keep
Absolutely.
myself getting updated through the news and the other things. Okay. And nothing with it's an inclusive administration kind of thing. So there is no hierarchies of ups and downs. Somebody staying up and somebody down. So that way, I keep enjoying sharing most of the thing with the team, so that the team knows where we are going ahead. Otherwise, each one is going to pull into their own sides, and the train is going to be off the track. Okay.
Very true. Very true. So if you would not have been a principal, what would you have you been?
Obviously, teacher. I enjoy teaching.
Oh, really?
Even though I'm a principal, I teach now, and that's
What
what
subject
is
are
more
you?
than that's more than sufficient for me to have it as an hobby. I don't need to read sometimes books or the listening to the songs or anything. The minute we enter into the classroom and then get along with the children, that itself gives us a sense of satisfaction.
Wow.
So,
Wow, wow. Okay,
yeah,
now as
yeah,
a career counselor, I do get a lot of questions and a lot of queries, and
yes,
when I conduct a psychometric test on class, especially class 10 students, then
yes,
it makes me easy to tell them what streams you can choose after class 10th, because
very true.
there are no guarantees. When even if you get 100 out of 100, if 100% marks, and you opt for science, there's no guarantee, because 11th and 12th science is absolutely different from 9th and 10th science. So
Yes.
all these career issues which are now cropping up. So what, according to you, would you see in coming 5 to 7 years? What stream of careers would be highly paid, or probably you feel that yes, these careers are booming up?
Oh my goodness, right. Very, very important kind of topic that you have touched upon. It was early 80s, 90s that had all this internet, the computers, and all those things coming up, and then there was a very high boom on that. Now, where do we stand? Absolutely nowhere. you know the market, the opportunities are wide open for all the children, and it is not restricted to any specific field. Take it or name it, anything. The world of opportunity is open for the children who are somewhere down the line, say 5 to 10 years, they're going to get into their profession. It is completely open, and there is no limitation for one to earn or have that sense of satisfaction at work. But when we have, as a parent, the parenting issue is what I feel is a little of hindrance or
Concern.
little of restricting their opportunities, their way forward. The parenting issues, probably I should be asking you on that also. Sometime back, 80s, 90s, it was all only science. You either go to an engineering college or you go to a
Medical college.
medical college, or the least preferred is a degree college. You go for a graduation. Now, when you are going to a graduation, people looked at you at a low, and when you went on to an engineering college, it was respected little. When but it was medicine, it was too high. So that way it was, and everybody was craving for that medical seat, engineering seat. Left out, go to a kind of graduation college, degree college, or something like that. Now, let no, all the parenting issues have started with a family background. There are single child issues, and now because of the single child pattern at home, parenting has become a very, very a critical kind of thing. The child is pampered child. They are not allowing the child to take risks. They are not allowing the child to think of their own. So they're made more sensitive only by the parents.
Right.
I can talk it anywhere in an open house also. The opportunities are kind of taken off by the parents, keeping the children sensitive, whatever way, because the child is important for them, because it's a single child. And so all that, whatever is the interest of the child, is stopped, is cut off by the parent, not even thinking of. And rightly said, the psychometric analysis, the psychometric test helps you analyze what field would be more appropriate for the child, what will be where is the strength, where are the gray areas to work on. But when you give the results of the psychometric test, nobody is going to accept it. Yeah. So
That's exactly the challenge.
That acceptance level from the parents, if the child would accept, given a session or one-on-one counseling, the child would accept, but the parents never.
That is
exactly. But the same parent, the same parent wants his or her child to be flying abroad for their kind of post-graduation or settling abroad.
Right.
And there's some of the children have the problem of this kind of adjustment in this atmosphere. And now who is to be blamed? The child says, I am not habituated. And obviously the parent is not also going to take that responsibility. It will be thrown on the teachers, or it will be thrown on the friends, or it will be. So basically, we will have to have a line of differentiation where the child needs to be from their schooling. It's okay for a child to play and then fall down or bleed or something like that, but don't for the parents. It's for the parents that don't come back to the school saying that, oh, my child has fallen down, is bleeding profusely, and you have not. So it's all a part of childhood. I did fall down. You did fall down. Your child. Right. That's not. Right. So have them that freedom to think and freedom to act also. There will not be any other platform other than peer groups to have more knowledge sharing. Peer groups, one-on-one, they have a lot of things, ideas, and thoughts to keep sharing. But when you restrict all those ideas is it's cut off. The opportunities are cut off from the children, and that's what I feel. Parents need to be very specific and in their parenting attitude, the way they handle their children. It's okay, fine. It's not that you always pamper them. You can scold them. You can make them understand all these things. We have gone across all those things.
I'm sure. Yes, 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 we have. And this is exactly what we do. When I give a parenting workshop, I start from the very sentence that becoming a parent is very easy, but doing a parenting is the most difficult job in the world.
Very true, very true, very true.
And now today's scenario is that instead of counseling the child, I think we need to counsel first the parents.
Yeah, but counseling itself is taken as a negative term.
Yeah, correct.
Nobody, you call them for a counseling session. No, they say, I don't have any problem. Why should I be there for a counseling session? But you say there is a open session, an open house or something like that. Then you pull the crowd.
Yeah. Fortunately, in urban areas like Delhi, Mumbai, and all those A-class and B-class cities, fortunately now this sessions, this counseling word, now they're taking up in a very right way. So, but it has, it has really trolled us from since so long. We are trying to make them understand that the word counseling is not for mad. The word counseling is not for negativity. It is something which even the best of the students want. They need it. So, and all the parents and all the people and all the teachers and all the, I think every fraternity in the world, they need counseling. I need counseling sometimes. You need counseling.
I can have a counseling session for having the right attitude and positive energy, for being excited. Otherwise, I'd be feeling low. I need somebody to tell me that yes, you can. You are doing good. You can do something more. That right. Those words are sufficient for me to be running across.
Absolutely, and that is the reason why now people are. I'm not talking about villages. I'm not talking about rural areas, but I'm talking about urban areas. Now they have started accepting, and probably they are also now started cropping in order to discuss things. In order to discuss things. So it's a good thing. I think it's a wonderful thing which is happening now.
Very true, very true. And that's another field which is having lot of scope in future. Guidance, counseling, career counseling, all those things. Which people never thought of. Clinical counseling is something different, which is coming up. More than being a doctor by profession, they are into hospital management after finishing MBBS.
True.
They finish MBBS, they go into MBA, hospital administration or something like that, where they enjoy their capacity as managing the entire setup. So obviously, when you look at, you get to know about the interest of that particular individual who has completed MBBS. If he is very seriously into medical profession, if he is interested, he would be going to the PG into same field, any specialization or something like that. But he enjoys having an administrative level of work,
Wow.
So that way.
Wow.
Very good eye opener talking to Dr. Sanjay. Please go ahead, please.
It's such a lovely talk which is happening. Okay, Sab, talking about your areas, okay, your area especially. Now, what are the main challenges? Of course, we have discussed about rurals, we've discussed about poverty, we've discussed about, but apart from all these financial issues, what is the main challenge? Other areas of challenges which you're facing?
Yes. Now, I've been across, teaching schools, Saudi Arabia, India, and these. Most so, our Indian form of education system has not still come away without marks. Everything is equated with marks, which is just a number. These numbers don't play a big role at all. I know, I can understand if we talk about 60s and 70s, you had to have a file with the certificates, all your credentials go, and your employer would be checking your percentage, and whoever stood first would be taken in. But now,
Right, right, right.
more than the score, more than the marks, more than the textual cramming, you need to have that skill, the skill alongside your knowledge, where this knowledge and skill should be embedded at work, without which I think things would not work out in your workplace. And the second most, or the I place it first, the communication, the way the communication pattern in the schools you kind of set up has a major role. This is where they will have as a base when they go up also. The way they communicate, the way they control their see, overall development. Everybody keeps talking about overall development. A school is nothing but wholesome education, overall development. But if a child is not able to control his or her emotions, I don't think he is educated.
Correct,
You know,
correct.
so we need to train them to be a perfectly balanced person. If we are going to train them to be a better professional, okay, for a better professional, it is the skill and the knowledge which is going to help them. The application of knowledge and how they use the skill management is what is going to use them. But for being a good human being, or rather for being human, you need to control all your emotions. And that's where, you know, it's not that always you are a winner. It's good to be a loser also. Sometimes you would be a loser, but you know how to take it up, how to take losing into your own stride and then move up. That is what is more important, that rather than sitting or kind of blaming somebody. Or there are all these sensitive issues. There are peer group adjustment problems, there are emotional imbalance, there are just earlier we used to talk about malnourished children, this, that, and all. Now you see all of them are obese. You know, so which means that they become lethargic physically. When they are obese, they become lethargic at, say, if you take reading or playing or working in a place, everything has its own kind of implications.
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
so now we need to have a system in place where all these things are equally matching, not the numbers, not the marks alone. We are going to try to give this kind of idea into parenting as well as into the school systems. I think the NEP is coming into a great way. We'll have to check the way it is implemented and how it is checked at the crossroads. Okay, there are a lot of ideas for the skill development into this, but equally all this uh, physical, social, emotional, all these things are also into this NEP, which I think will have a greater impact when it is into the stream actually. So basically, my only point is that this marks are only a mere number. It does not show anything about the child.
Right.
A child might have 100 out of 100, which does not confirm that he is a master of that particular subject. It
Right.
only
Right.
it's only one when he applies that knowledge into a given challenge situation, and then comes out of it. That's what is my understanding.
No, you are absolutely right, sir. Absolutely right. Because unfortunately, our education system is still stuck on marks. But there are
Yes.
so much. there are so many things which is above marks, and probably what I feel, what my experience have always I've seen that the toppers are always an average career things, and those people who have always scored an average marks, probably 60, 70, 80 or 90 probably, they are doing excellent in their life.
Very true, very true. They've gone through those challenges probably. And the other kind of 90 plus all had a very smooth ride. Probably with the kind of exposure they had a smooth ride. But these children had an exposure of everything across. Might be some of them would have failed too. Some.
Yeah.
So failure is not the end of the road.
True.
It's just a part of the journey. It's a part of.
Right, sir. Oh my God, 1 hour has just eloped, and I really don't. And unfortunately, Instagram doesn't allow a live chat more than 1 hour. But we still have few seconds and few moments, and I still remember that you love to sing, so I would love to hear.
My goodness! Oh my goodness! You still remember that? Okay, I need to recollect some.
Some technical bosh. I hope we join in soon. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, sir is left. Okay, just let me just get back, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, I just got disconnected for some reason. Right. So you need the number.
Anything quickly, 2 lines.
Oh my goodness. I still scratch my head for I enjoy listening to हमको मन की शक्ति देना मन विजय करे दूसरों को जैसे पहले मन विजय करे. Thank you. Don't I should have messed up with the lyrics, but thank you.
Lyrics are not important. Bhav is important, and that is what.
So that's the strength, Let's have the strength to tackle any kind of challenge.
Hello, sir. It was nice talking to you, and I'm sure with all your thought processes and your principalship, I'm sure the students would really gain. They will have an advantage. The teachers whom you are backing up, the motivational force you are, and I wish you all the best. And probably we will join some other day. And
I'm not going to miss out, Dr. Sanjeev. I would be there always. Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity, and it was pleasure talking.
If you need any kind of help from my side for your students, for your teachers, I'm always available. For your parents, I'm always available. Just tell me, just let me know, and definitely let's do something for humanity as well. Thank you so much, and God bless you, and may you enjoy, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Wish you the same, and all my participants wish you all a very happy New Year.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.